Hey, what's up, guys? We're back. We're back. We're all back. Well, most of us
Yeah.
are back. We're
You.
back. We are back.
Woohoo.
Feels so good to be back.
Yeah.
Welcome, everyone. We have a slew of topics. We're going to get into a lot of stuff, and we're probably going to slander Austin as per usual.
Yeah.
If you don't know, the name of the show is Uninterrupted. I am your host, and we have back some familiar faces that had left us for a while. And we are going to get right into it. First, I'd like to see how everybody's little hiatus has gone through. So let's start with the lady she's the queen of the pod today. Nikki, how are you, man? How was your trip overseas? Did you see any
Uh,
whales? Did you swim with
I
the dolphins?
I did. I saw some dolphins. I saw some whales. But mostly I just saw some really broke helicopters. So that was pretty cool. So and a lot of blue. So
Did it go by fast though while you were
um,
out there?
sometimes it did and sometimes it didn't. Like when I had a lot to do, it would go by like super quick. And like when we had a really rough like flight schedule, it was super fast. But when we were just like kind of sitting around or
Hmm.
when everybody else had off, it was really, really slow. I was just like, oh my God, can we leave now, please?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. I was like, what do you do in your downtime? Like with no, because you guys have no internet, right?
Right.
Like, so what do
So
you do in your downtime? Like, it feels like that. It feels like if you go back in, it's like going back in time a little bit because. So what do you do? What do you guys do?
we do have internet, but it's like during certain hours and it's only certain computers that can use it. So it's usually like our work center that has it.
Mm.
So I'll get on Facebook for a little bit. That's the only thing that really works besides Navy websites. And, they do have like TV like shown to us like special for military members. Like they have movies and stuff for a ton of movies. And I spend a lot of my time in the gym, so I'll get up at
So
like
you're
2 in
so you're
the morning.
totally ripped, is what
Get
you're
them
saying.
gains.
Totally ripped. She came back
Yeah,
with like
like
20
games.
extra pounds
Yeah.
of muscle. Like she's
I mean,
gonna go to Mr. Waffles, be like, he's gonna hug him, be like, ah, my ribs, or something, like squeezing too hard. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, peep my Insta. You'll see
Wow.
my
Wow.
gains I got.
I gotta see now. I gotta see the ripness. Ripness. What's up, Mr. Jake? We have Jake back. He looks good. He looks fresh. He looks clean. He still doesn't have a
Yeah.
beard. Completely bad. But other than that, you
Yeah,
got rid
you
of the
know,
mullet, man.
I did. I got rid of the mullet. I cleaned up. I cleaned up the hair. I cleaned up the face. I just cleaned up myself. It was about time. About time.
Well, yeah,
Been
you
taking
can't
care of
count.
myself.
Loving yourself, man. Love
Loved
yourself.
myself. Been getting shredded. Been working every day. And other than that, I have been doing absolutely fucking nothing.
I hope you haven't been loving yourself too much, but yes, that's great. It's great. It's great. It's good. It's good news. Mr. Austin, Austin, why aren't you on camera, man? Why aren't you on camera? I
Why
want to
not?
see your sweet, sweet face.
He's very insecure.
He
Okay.
is very insecure. There he
I'm
is.
insecure.
There
Over
he
the
is.
government. It's a lot of things, man.
What you been up to, man? How's your summer been?
It's been good. I transferred out. I transferred schools, so that kind of sucks. I was in the process of all summer transferring out of. So me and Jake, unfortunately, aren't going to be going to the same school.
Thank
So that kind of
Christ.
sucks. Yeah, yeah. I'm so thankful I got away
Hmm?
What was that?
with that. So
Huh?
Okay.
I'm doing that,
Okay.
finishing up like transferring.
Hmm?
Okay. But is that still your? This is Plymouth State, so you're not going to Plymouth State?
Nope, I'm not going
But
to
you're
the state.
wearing their shirt. You should take that
Yeah.
off right now. Like I feel like you should take that off because you're misrepresentation. It's a misrepresentation right now. You
Brian.
gotta take it off, man.
I played plenty of dollars to wear this shirt. So I think I'm all set.
I say go. I vote take off the shirt. But okay,
Take
that's another
off
topic.
fucking shirt.
And
You don't want me to take off.
uh we are also gonna be hearing from Mr.
Oh, hold
Jonah.
on, hold on, hold on. Brian, how have you been? How have you been, Brian?
Yeah.
How was your little
How have you
hiatus?
Well, now that you've asked, I've had a pretty interesting summer. It was definitely capped off by going to see the Patriots training camp in Tennessee. I took a road trip there.
Yeah,
Just
how was that?
after.
'Cause you went with two little
Oh,
members.
yes, I did with our one of our co-hosts for the girls' pod, Ashley. Uh, I call her Merida because she looks like the girl from that movie Brave from Pixar.
Meredith.
Yeah, Merida. It's Merida.
Mimo
Jake.
was a bear.
Yeah. You got to test your fate. I don't know how
You
this
had
says.
the chance to change your fate.
You change your fate. All right, so we got to hang out with her and Mr. Bryson NFL.
Yeah, and our frequent guest Bryson. Yeah.
Our recurring guest Bryson NFL. Bryson, if you're hearing this, you have a very long neck. I was really, really. I was like, I saw his neck and I was like, why is it so long? It never ends.
Bryson's a muscular version of damn long neck.
He's a snapping turtle.
He's like Danny Longneck, but more muscles.
Damn long.
Yeah. So this is the thing about Bryson, and I'm gonna dissect Mr. Bryson NFL here. His neck is like really long, and he's got these big, huge arms, and then he's got these tiny hands.
So he's T-Rex.
No, that's Ashley.
That's Ashley. Ashley has T-Rex arms, guys. I'm telling you, I literally bullied her all week about her tiny T-Rex arms because her sleeves were like almost up to her wrist. But let's stay on point here. Bryson NFL. He's got huge calves. And he just disproportionate. No, I'm just kidding. Listen, Bryson was a cool hang. He's a cool dude. We actually got a couple of fans. Actually, people came up to Bryson like, "Hey, I follow you. I know you."
Oh,
and
really?
they were like, "Yeah." They actually, I was like, it was funny because on day one we were right up and we were like, "All right, I bet you guys $1 bajillion. Like nobody can recognize you, Bryson." He's like, because he was already talking shit like, "Guys, people know me. There's people that think they know that I'm coming. They're gonna come up to me. You'll see." And we looked at him like, "Shut up! Nobody's coming up to you.
Yeah,
Get a life."
Don't sound like pretentious asshole.
Yeah.
Show me the Carfax.
Shut the hell up. And then we were like, okay, no. So literally, we get there, and within the first 10 minutes, a guy comes up. He's like, "Hey, I follow you. Are you Bryson?" And I just roll my eyes. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. I'm gonna fucking kill myself. I'm gonna throw myself off a bridge.
I'm just gonna go blow my brains out right now. I got proved wrong by Bryson.
Yeah.
How was the sex though?
We just did a bunch of hand stuff. We really didn't do. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was your first time, you don't.
It was just hand stuff,
Yeah.
A lot of we were trading spaces, like I would be the little spoon and then he would be the little spoon. So.
Exactly.
Did you make Ashley watch, or like what was she doing?
No, Ashley was too busy trying to get her hands to go through her shirt. She was. She could not get the hands through all the way because they were just kind of like in the. I'm doing this.
Listen, I feel her pain because so for my on the ship at work. We have shirts that are kind of like this. So what I like to do is I'll roll them up, but as I'm walking, they'll roll back down. So I have to roll my sleeves up, and then I literally have to walk like this.
It was just funny, especially on day 2, because in the day 2 she was wearing I think her Brady jersey, and her Brady jersey was really large, so. It was just a tiny.
She had a large Brady. You should have switched jerseys because you were wearing what? Extra small kids.
Because I am petite. Okay, but she had all her hair is bigger than her body, guys. If you ever see Ashley in person, her hair is like it's like a separate entity that she has on top of her head. And literally takes up all the space. I think people were telling her to please step down because they could not see the field because her hair would occupy half the spot. No, I'm just kidding. I love hanging out with Ashley. I like hanging out with Bryson. They were really a lot of fun. We actually got to meet some cool people. And we got to see a lot of Patriots, man. Just a lot of Tom Brady. So it was a fun road trip.
Glad you had fun,
Just
man.
kidding.
Yeah, and Nashville was fun. A lot of we saw some bars, a lot of honky tonk here, honky tonk there.
Sorry.
Jake just had an orgasm because I just told him that honky tonk word. So it was a lot of fun. But guys, let's stay on topic. We got a lot of stuff to talk about this show. Okay, we got a lot of things, and let's start with the juicy stuff. Okay, let's start. the ESPN's released their first annual rankings for this 2019 season, and we all got to look at the rankings pre-show, and we already started discussing on who belonged, who didn't belong. I think it's pretty obvious that the first team who belonged and definitely should belong there is number one is the Patriots because they are the defending champs, and if I think it's fitting. I mean, the roster looks better, the defense looks a little deeper at some spots. I think one was we're going to have the best secondary in the league this year. From what I saw from training camp, I can tell you that our cornerbacks are legit. And
let's just think about how much the receiving core has changed in 5 days.
Yeah, the receiving core has changed a ton.
In 2 days. Like not even.
Yeah, well, we knew Julian Edelman would come back, but everybody obviously was pretty stoked about Josh Gordon being reinstated with no suspension.
Jacoby Myers is the best wide receiver on the team.
Jacoby Myers has turned out to be the best most receiver on the team. I'm telling you, when I saw this guy live, he looked like a seasoned wide receiver. He looks like Julian. Bryson said it best in one of his tweets. He looks like Julian Edelman, just a little bit taller. He's got the same quick feet. He beats you at the top of his route. He's super quick off the get up, and he's always getting open. He gets open.
He's quicker than fast. He's not a guy who's going to blow you away with his speed. He gets open. No. Exactly what he does. That's all you need.
Exactly.
So the Patriots are number one. We're going to get a little bit into the wide receivers and Demaryius Thomas also coming up, Pup, and Josh Gordon reinstating along with Edelman. So we're going to get that a little bit down the show and what kind of impact that has on the team and what kind of impact that has for the rest of the AFC as far as the Patriots go. But I do want to discuss some of these guys, some of these rankings. And I think the Patriots are 1, the Chiefs are 2. I think it's good. I think if Tyreek Hill not getting suspended and actually playing for them, I mean, they're going to be a powerhouse. They're going to be a powerhouse then.
The one thing I don't like about the Chiefs is their defense. Like, they had one of the worst defenses last year, and they supposedly got an upgrade in when they signed Matteo, but Matteo is overrated. Like, they
got Frank Clark though.
They had Frank Clark. They had the
who's the better?
They had the dude Sean Davis from Pittsburgh or whatever. I don't buy this whole hype with their new secondary and their new defense.
Their new secondary is the same as it was last year, just slightly different players.
Well, they got someone from Pittsburgh. I can't think of his name for the life of me. The corner.
Tyrann Mathieu is one of the most so overrated in the second.
Matthew.
Yeah, him in the second half of the season last year for the Texans was a liability in the secondary. But people don't.
I think we can all agree with that, and I think I still believe that them not having Kareem Hunt make that backfield makes him a little less dangerous in the running game. I would say because he was such a big part of what they did in the run game. But and I'll let you get to your point in a second, Austin. I still believe that they got McCole Hardman, that speedster, another speedster to add to Tyreek Hill. I think Mahomes is legit. I don't think he's going to have any type of regression. And they're still loaded. They still have Sammy Watkins. They still have Travis Kelce. Whether we like it or not, I think the Chiefs they're still going to be a contender in that West spot. And what sucks for the Chiefs is that they have the Chargers also that's going to be competing with them. So the Chargers might have a say also as what the Chiefs end up doing out of the NFC. What were you going to say, Austin?
I was saying that. They have that Kareem Hunt obviously was a different type of back. But obviously, Kareem Hunt got kicked off earlier in the season, and they did it completely fine. But yeah, obviously, they can do it with not Damian Harrison. Well, I can't remember their name off the top of my head right now, but they can do it with them, and they proved it last year. And then he got obviously he had gotten the contract extension through it, and he had done good. But yeah, I get your point about that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that was a couple of games. They only were without Kareem Hunt for a couple of games. We'll see how they do with that an entire season, where teams don't have to game plan for Kareem Hunt. I don't want to wait too much on the Chiefs. I do want to see some of the rankings that ESPN had on this first annual ranking, and I think having New Orleans at 3 is a joke. They don't belong in number 3. I don't think so. I think I started seeing a decline from Drew Hill. Drew Hill. What else? Drew Brees. Drew Hill is somebody else. I had
Taysom Hill and Drew Brees.
Yeah, I mixed them together. Drew Hill, I think, is like a band. Drew Brees, he played like absolute crap the last 5 games of the season and into the playoffs. He wasn't the same, and they lost Ingram. I think they lost Ingram. I think he went to the Ravens.
Yep.
And I think Ingram was a good punch into that running back field. They had a good chemistry.
Latavius Murray.
It's not the same.
Yeah, Latavius Murray.
Yeah, he's not the same. But again, I don't like the Saints at number 3 at all. I think there's better teams that could have the legitimate spot. And I don't like the Philadelphia Eagles at 5 either. I'm sorry, but until Carson Wentz can prove that he can stay healthy and get back to the form where he was before he got injured, the Philadelphia Eagles do not belong in the number 5 spot. I think that's completely overrated. I don't know why they would be ahead of the Chargers, who most people are saying they're one of the best teams in the AFC. So why are you putting the Chargers all the way at 6? Because I just don't see the correlation
This
there.
is according to one person. I don't agree with the Chargers hype.
Well, it's not according to one person. This is made up of like a panel of a bunch of writers.
Well, I mean, it's probably like Field, Yates, Adam Schefter, and a couple others like that. Mort probably. I'm pretty sure Mort still isn't blocked, but that's besides the point. He unblocked me.
That's a cool story.
No one cares.
Nikki,
just talk.
Nikki, what about you? Do you see anybody in the top 10 so far that they rank that you think they do not belong where or in the top 5? Do you agree?
I mean, I just don't like where they put the Chargers at all. Like, the Chargers have never really delivered on anything. And I've lived in San Diego for a few years, so I kind of like followed what they were doing in San Diego before they decided to be traders and go to Los Angeles for absolutely no reason, it turned out, for them. But but no, they would just always fail to deliver, especially against the Patriots. When me and Waffles would go to watch a game, they always cry, and
we love those tears. We own the Chargers, guys, by the way. I think if you look at the playoff records, the Patriots literally own the Chargers. I don't think Phillip Rivers has ever beaten the Patriots, by the way.
Yeah.
No.
I think it's like 0-4.
No. He's never beaten Brady. He's beaten the Patriots once.
What did you say, Nikki?
Watching a Chargers versus Patriots game in San Diego was probably one of the most scary experiences I've ever had in my life. Especially wearing a Patriots shirt, because all the eyes just follow you as soon as you walk in, and it's just hatred, just immediate hatred, just unbridled, just hatred.
Oh, they hate us.
We were gonna not be served at all.
I remember I went to a Jets game a couple of years ago, and it was like that, but just crazy New York is yelling, "Hey, get out of here!" or something like that. I was like, please shut up.
All right, so I'm looking at teams right now that aren't outside the top 10, and I think they have. If you go through the top 10, they have the Patriots, Chiefs, Saints, Rams, Eagles. I don't get that. Chargers. They have the Bears at number 7, which I think that's a little low for them because I think they have an elite defense. I think they'll be right there in contention again this year.
The Colts. The Bears. I'm sorry.
The Bears have an elite defense.
Okay, you were talking about the Bears.
I put the Bears in my top 5.
And then they round it out with the Dallas Cowboys, Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts at 8, Dallas Cowboys at 9, and the Cleveland Browns at 10. I think the Cleveland Browns are ranked too high, simply because they haven't proven. I mean, they're right now they're paper champions. They won the offseason. They got OBJ, they got Kareem Hunt, they got all these weapons, and they upgraded so many positions, but they still haven't proven anything as far as they're good. I mean, show me on the field. Show me that Baker Mayfield can take the next step, and then we can talk about it. But I still haven't seen anything crazy from them. Do you guys see any teams outside of the top 10 that should be ranked in the top 10 above, say, a team like Chicago or Philly or Los Angeles? I'll go first. To me, I think is completely. I don't like the guy, but I think the Green Bay Packers will be at my number 10 spot because they did upgrade their defense a little bit, and Aaron Rodgers is not injured this offseason, so he might be a little bit motivated to play a little bit better. I think the Houston Texans have been a playoff team for the last 2 years, and the fact that they're ranked all the way to 14 is. Under in Minnesota, who didn't even make the playoffs last year, is ranked 12th. I think it's asinine. I think it's absolutely moronic to have the Houston Texans ranked that low. And I think Houston Texans belong in the number 10 spot, to be honest with you. So I think the Houston Texans definitely belong in the top 10, and they're ranked way too low at 14. And, even the Atlanta teams like Seattle Seattle has at least somewhere in the
Seattle
between.
the
At
playoffs
least
last year.
I was
I don't know.
At
I don't
least
know if
put Seattle. At least put Seattle close to the top 10. But
I don't know if I'd
15,
put Seattle
15.
in. No, I'd Seattle at 15. I feel like that's fine. Their defense isn't anything too special. I mean, it's young, up and coming. There's potential, but their offense, I mean, their running game with Chris Carson's nice, but their receivers, you have no clue. Russell Wilson's going to have to carry the load again. So this is a team that's going to
I
have
mean,
to.
they have DK. Oh, wait,
Austin, I am
DK hurt?
speaking. Jesus Christ. I will.
Go ahead, Austin. Go
No,
ahead.
so no, I'm just fucking around. But yeah, like Austin was saying though, DK Metcalf, yeah. But the Seahawks again for probably the fourth year in a row now are going to have to exceed expectations. But I think for where they're ranked, 15th out of all the 32 teams, I think that's perfectly fine right there. But like you were saying, Brian, I definitely put Houston in the top 10. I know I give them a lot of flack. I know I shit on Deshaun Watson a lot, but that's an elite defense, even despite the questions they have with Jadeveon Clowney and his contract. But just that defense is always stacked. They're always going to be contenders. They're always going to be around. The fact if they can get over the hump or not, yet to be seen, but they should be at least a top 10 team, in my opinion.
Yeah. What about you, Nikki? Do you see a team outside the top 10 that belongs in the top 10?
That's not in the top 10 that belongs there. I'm looking through it.
I mean, I think a lot of playoff teams. There's a lot of playoff teams all the way down there. Baltimore's down there. You know, Seattle's down there. Even Tennessee. Disrespect to Tennessee. It's all the way 20. They were a playoff team.
Yeah, they're really good.
Tennessee was
I would say
almost.
maybe.
I don't know if I put Tennessee in my top 15, actually.
I would
at
least move the Jaguars a little bit further up. I think
the Jaguars.
I would move Jaguars. I think they're good.
Do you think they have a bounce back year? I mean, a lot of people had a lot of expectations in the Jaguars last season, and they completely bombed.
I think Nick Foles can beat them out of a hole.
Bortles was just playing bad, but Bortles is still in the boat, so.
You know what? I think the Buffalo Bills are going to sneak up on people.
Same.
A lot of people are sleeping on the Buffalo Bills, man. Josh Allen looks really good this offseason. He's looked really good in the first two preseason games.
Josh Allen also looked good the second half of the season. Same with Darnold, and then they obviously signed Beasley. They got David Montgomery. No, that's the Bears one. They got Tevin Coleman. They got Ed Oliver in the draft, who's super good. The fact that he slipped to them, I thought was just kind of.
Well, they added Ed Oliver, and
yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, the only teams that gave the Patriots problems last season on offense, the last 6 weeks of the season, including playoffs, was the Los Angeles Rams in the Super Bowl and the Buffalo Bills. You remember, guys, before we were coming off the loss from Pittsburgh, and Buffalo was playing us tooth and nail really hard. We didn't score a lot of points in that game, and we really struggled. And Buffalo has an elite defense. Buffalo was ranked in the top 5 in the secondary last season, by PFF. Buffalo is already good. Buffalo's problem wasn't defense. Their problem was that they didn't have an inept offense. So if their quarterback can get some sort of offensive production, Buffalo's going to be they're going to be turning some heads, man. People have been saying a lot of things about Buffalo, and I know Jake has been saying a lot of things about Washington. I'm surprised Jake hasn't said anything about Washington in this ranking, because Washington's ranked pretty low in this.
What are they ranked? I actually totally kind of forgot.
29. They're 29. They're all the way 29. I mean, that's considered bad.
I get that. I get that because they have questions at quarterback currently. Whether it's going to be Case Keenum, I believe they still was Case Keenum going to start week 1.
I mean, they still have an above average defense with Kerrigan and Josh Norman, despite him not really being. Did you see Josh Norman get absolutely dribbled the other day?
I thought it was hilarious.
I stick up for him, but oh man, that was bad. I just looked at that. It's like, come on.
You know what? One guy who I'm surprised hasn't. One team that hasn't been mentioned at all, the Falcons.
That's true. The Falcons.
Yeah.
Wow, where
Matty Ice. 17.
17.
No, 17's the Ravens, Brian.
16, I'm sorry.
But
I was
like,
gonna say,
I feel like people, the Falcons should be top 10. Like they have a very good defense, and they have Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Mohamed Sanu, Devontae Freeman. Like that's like a
Yeah.
top 10 offense. Literally should be a top 10 offense every year. But unfortunately, they got hurt last year, so it wasn't.
All right, so we're gonna do a little game right here. In this game, I want everybody to take turns. Austin, wait everybody to say their voice in their turns, and then you can go. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and play a little game. Okay, and I want you guys to tell me who do you think has the best trio of quarterback, running back, receiver in the NFL? Because this was a topic that was bringing on first take. This is all over the timeline, and we were talking about this, and this it got me heated. You actually had to think it.
For the sake of the show and unbiasedness, let's keep the Patriots off the list.
Yeah.
yes.
I think so.
I don't know if they'd be in my top 5, but they'd definitely be in my top 10.
All right, fair enough. In the order of fairness to all the other teams. Okay, let's go ahead and give us our trio, and I'll give you my first. Okay, I think Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, Devontae Freeman. You have an above-average quarterback. You have one of the best receivers in the league still, and you have Devontae Freeman that when healthy, he's a very good running back. I would say he's a top 10 running back. If you look at the league top down, Devontae Freeman, when healthy, is a top 10 running back. The first 2 years in the league, Devontae Freeman was racking him up. He was a fun fantasy league stud, and he was killing it. And then he ran into injuries, and then he lost the Super Bowl, and then he hasn't been the same quarterback. He hasn't been the same. Yeah, well, we're gonna keep the Patriots out of this, Jake. Okay, so I would say, and Julio Jones is still Julio Jones. I don't care what anyone says to me. I don't think he's a very good red zone wide receiver, but between the 20s, he's bar none one of the best. I think it's Nuke, Julio, and OBJ, and that's it. There's nobody else. So that's I would say that trio for me is one of the most elite trios out there. Let's go with you, Jake.
Me, I don't know if they're the best, but they're certainly one that I certainly think of first. Andrew Luck, T.Y. Hilton, and Marlon Mack. I do like that trio. Marlon Mack is a very strong runner. Andrew Luck, when he's healthy, is one of the, if not the arguably best quarterback. I'm not going to say that, though. Arguably, but T.Y. Hilton, he is so underrated as a receiver, and I hate that because he just gets no respect. I mean, people look at him, they're like, oh, he's 5'9", whatever. He can take the top off of defense. He's a guy that will rack up a lot of receptions, a lot of yardage, a lot of touchdowns, and he will get the job done at wide receiver. So I really love that Indianapolis Big Three.
Okay, Austin, what about you?
Saints. So Breeze, Thomas, and Kamara.
Man, you can't go wrong there. It's a really good one.
I'm still pissed the Pats didn't take him.
Yeah, well,
aren't
we all?
Well, 31 other teams also didn't.
Yes.
But we took Antonio Garcia right before him.
Nikki, what about you? What's your best trio in the NFL? What, like, quarterback, wide receiver, running back trio in the NFL?
Well, I mean, I couldn't pick the Patriots, so I had to do some research here. But I'm gonna go with the Rams actually. Jared Goff, Todd Gurley, and Robert Woods. Just because of the running back.
Todd Gurley.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an MVP. He's been an MVP candidate for the last 2 seasons, whether people like it or not. That he fell off, he had an injury, whatever the case may be. Todd Gurley during the regular season, he was an absolute monster. And Jared Goff played at a Pro Bowl level for most of last year. So it's not a bad pick. Robert Woods kind of surprised me a little bit. I thought maybe you would have gone with Cook.
Or Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, but that's fine. Robert Woods did put up really good years there. But she said what she said, guys. A trio that I thought somebody would mention, but nobody did, is Amari Cooper, Dak Prescott, and Ezekiel Elliott. You mean to tell me that Ezekiel Elliott is not a premier running back?
No, he is, but
Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper is one of the best route runners. Amari Cooper is a top 10 wide receiver. Okay. He produced like one last year. And Dak Prescott is an above average quarterback who's better than Cam. Leave him alone.
I actually agree with Brian. No,
He's better. He's better than Cam.
This man wants $40 million a year, and you're gonna.
You do realize
Good
that
for you, Dak. You get your $40 million. You get the
you realize
bag.
that report came to be untrue.
Get all the money. Get all the money in the bag, Dak. Your boy. I've been defending you from day one. Okay.
You do realize that proves to be false. That was a misreport.
Well, guess what, Austin? Shut the fuck up. I'll take that for your misreport. You misreported when you fucking spoke back to me.
That was so good. All right, hold on. All right, we got to move on. That was so good. We love Austin here. We love our Austin here.
We love
guys.
Yeah, the Sox lost.
Let's switch it off. Let's switch it up a little bit and I think we have to get into this because it's gonna eat me alive if we do. Do not get into this. And I was having this debate with someone, and I know that some of you might pick both, but both isn't allowed. Okay, both isn't allowed.
Both.
You can't pick both. No, you can't pick both. What's better, guys? Is day drinking better than night drinking?
Oh, big time.
Absolutely.
Big time.
God, yes.
Yeah.
So day drinking is better than night drinking? Why?
It's like vacation, but you don't have to go anywhere.
I don't know. It's like a different feeling. Like when it's not really publicly acceptable to do it a lot. So especially being a college kid to do it during darty season, day party, man.
Hell yeah.
To Jay drink, like it's like a whole nother feeling. It's like, wow, it's 11:30 in the morning and I'm already hammered. Like you can't say that a lot.
Over here we have brunch, so I start off with
mimosas
mimosas in the morning, and by noon I'm sending you up texts to Waffle. He's sitting right next to me.
So you guys all agree that you guys all say day drinking is better than night drinking?
Yeah.
Well,
I think
say
so.
both.
Well,
Yeah.
It depends, but if I had to pick, I'd definitely pick day drinking just because of the feeling.
Here's why you are all wrong.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. Here's why you are all wrong. Night drinking is elite. Okay.
Explain.
Night drinking is better than day drinking, and this is why night drinking is elite. Okay. Night drinking. Okay. You get to pick the setting in which you drink. Night drinking, you get to pick. Basically, this it's just sexier. It's just a better feeling. You want to go out drinking, and you go out at night. Day drinking is something I can do on my couch while watching TV. It's boring. Yeah. It's boring. Who wants to drink at night? Who wants to drink at day? Be boring, just sitting on the couch and day drink and just watching the TV.
If you go out during the day, though, it's so much better.
Day drinking. Listen, day drinking, safer. Okay, you're usually doing it at home. Also, if you do decide to go out, right? You get your Uber, and it's not jacked up to like 150% of the price because everybody and their mom is out at the fucking club.
Weep.
We have our special guest has joined us here for it's a very important topic, by the way. Is day drinking versus night drinking. It's BrycenNFL, guys. It's BrycenNFL. Oh. Him and his neck and his guns. They're all here, and they're.
I can't even see him. Look at
I don't know.
smile.
It's like
Let's see that smile. There he is.
It's like I'm watching.
Okay.
Oh god. It's like I'm watching the Blair Witch all over again, like with Bryson's background back there. What's going on? I don't know what's going on there. BrycenNFL, do you think day drinking is better than night drinking?
Well, first of all, check out my mustache if you can, guys. It's very elite. I just would like to say it.
Also, turn on a fucking light.
Yeah, shine a light on yourself. I can't see your mustache.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I love the dark.
Let's see this long neck of yours.
Well, hey, vampire.
Oh shit! Is that a bronchiosaurus?
Bro, are you serious? You serious? Digging the mustache? No. L W.
No,
W or L?
It's a W.
Thank you.
I told him he looks like an
80s
porn star. I thought he looks like an 80s porn star.
Okay. So, I also would like to finish my introduction by saying that day drinking is complete trash. I don't want to be asleep by 7 p.m. Night drinking all the way. Let's go.
That's when you drink a Red Bull and suck it up and go out more.
No,
Like,
because by the time look, when you day drink, you're so tired by the time you get to night that you don't even make it to the night. And some of the coolest things happen at night. Okay.
Yep.
Some of the coolest things happen at night.
Yep. The crickets come out. Yeah.
Yeah.
The crickets.
The moon is out. You don't get to see the moon. Okay.
Oh, the moon. Yeah. But you could see like a lunar eclipse, maybe.
Maybe. Okay. You might miss a fight. You might miss some sort of event.
Wait, what about a meteor shower or a shooting star, or like you could like see the Little Dipper and the Big Dipper? You can't do that in the freaking.
How do you make a wish?
Me?
How do you make a fucking wish?
Oh my gosh! Have you ever been under the North Star with your love? Are you serious?
No. Absolutely not.
Sorry, I took it too far.
Yeah. No.
Just follow
way too far. We went into the deep end there. Absolutely, night drinking is better than day drinking, and you cannot change my mind. I will die on this hill.
I'll change your mind.
They are both elite, but because I'm a college kid and I go out literally every night, to go out during the day is so much. It's
very cool, Austin.
Daytime barbecue.
Yes, Nick's got it going on.
Oh God. Yeah, and be asleep by 6 o'clock because you're full of drunk and tired. That's why. Okay. Bryson, since you got here on, you might have missed the last segment. We were talking about the best NFL trios in the NFL, and before we hop up to the next segment, I wanted to get your take on this. Best NFL trio. You can't say the Patriots because the Patriots, we are being unbiased. So you can't say Josh Gordon. You can't say James White and Tom Brady. You can't say that. If you want to hear our picks so far that we've had so far, is I picked Matty Ice with Devontae Freeman and Julio Jones. Austin picked Mitch Trubinsky.
No.
No, he didn't. What was your pick, Austin?
Breeze, Kamara, Thomas.
Yeah, Breeze, Kamara, and Thomas. Jake picked.
I picked
T.Y. Hilton.
I picked the Alabama Iron from the AAF.
He picked T.Y. Hilton, Andrew Luck, and Mac. And Nikki picked Jared Goff, Robert Woods, and Todd Gurley. So if you were to pick your most elite NFL trio, okay, I'm talking about quarterback, wide receiver, running back. What would it be?
I'm gonna go with Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and Damian Williams.
That's not a bad one though. That's not a bad one. You gotta be if you're objective. If you're listening.
Personally, I would have picked the Chargers over the Chiefs.
Really, Phillip Rivers, Keenan Allen, and Melvin Gordon.
I would have. I think I would have.
Phillip Rivers is trash.
Phillip Rabbits.
Phillip Rabbits is trash. Phillip Rabbits is trash.
Phillip Rabbits is
Rabbits
with his like 10 kids.
All right. When we come back, guys, we're gonna come up with our brand new segment called Florida Man. It's gonna be led by Jake the Snake Roberts, a Florida man. Come in, and we're also gonna talk about better music, 80s, 90s, or the 2000s. Bryson NFL will weep about this, him and his mustache. So when we come next to the next segment.